Welcome to the JJ Virgin Lifestyle Show with celebrity nutrition expert, fitness Hall of Famer, and four-time New York Times bestselling author, JJ Virgin. JJ is a warrior mom whose knowledge and expertise have helped change hundreds of thousands of lives with over 3.5 million podcast downloads and appearances on Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, The Today Show, Rachel Ray, Larry King Live.
Whoa. This show is about you, not about me. I want to help you find practical, real-world ways to dial in your health and mindset so you can finally lose that weight and feel strong and energized. Stop settling for less than your personal best. It's time to find out how to look and feel better than ever. And I'll be right here with you the whole way. Welcome to today's podcast. I am oh my gosh, so excited about the guest today because it's one of my best friends. She's like a sister to me. And I am about to share Bree Argetsinger with you today. And I couldn't be more excited about this interview. So we are going to be talking, we're going to be talking about nutrition, fitness, mindset, all the things that you are most interested about, some really yummy recipes, and a super fun challenge you can join millions, literally millions, doing. So let me tell you a little bit about Bree. You'll hear the story about how we met when we get to the interview. Bree is known as the Betty Rocker. You'll also hear how that name came to be. She's a Czech certified fitness instructor and an ISSA fitness nutrition coach. She has a long background of being a body worker and a chef and getting into the whole fitness and nutrition world, being a blogger, doing videos. And more than that, she is just, again, one of my closest friends and just a super, super amazing person. And she has impacted literally millions of people through her challenges that really make fitness and nutrition yummy, simple, and totally accessible. So I am really thrilled to introduce you to her. We are completely in line. It's funny because there's so many places I'll go to eat and I'm like, but I always know that if I'm going to her house, I'm completely safe, and vice versa with her. We just are completely in sync. So I'm excited to be sharing her work with you. You're going to be able to pick up all the cool stuff we're talking about today, access to our challenge, some recipes that we talk about that you're going to be drooling over. You can get all of that at jjvirgin.com/Betty Rocker. So you want to grab all of that because I always have the best show notes and these amazing recipes that you will definitely want, of course, and access to the challenge. All righty. Welcome to the show, Bree Argetsinger. I'm so glad you're here with me today.
Well, it's just a pleasure and an honor to be here with you.
It actually feels very weird to be talking to you on the phone.
It does. It's very formal.
Very formal. This is someone who hangs out at my house all the time. It's like my sister. So we will have a very formal, not formal interview here.
I'm excited that we get to have a conversation that your audience gets to be a part of because
yes.
I am such a fan of everything that you're doing. It's really epic.
Well, back at you. So I was in an elevator and I met you. You kind of followed me out of the elevator. Wasn't sure what to make of you. And then fell in love with you that first day. It's been fantastic ever since. You're just an amazing, amazing person. So I'd love to start with who the heck is Bree, aka the Betty Rocker, and how did you become the Betty Rocker?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I know.
So when I was growing up, for those of you who don't have a visual, I'm about 5 feet tall, long hair, lots of tattoos.
She's the opposite of me.
I'm definitely the opposite of JJ in physical appearance. That is very true. A lot of similarities there, though, on the inside, which is part of why we have so
inside
much.
we're pretty similar, but outside, yeah.
Couldn't be more different. So I think I come up to just the top of your belly button or something. It's pretty hilarious. But I was called Punk Rock Betty Crocker growing up because I always had this love of baking and taking care of people with food. But at the same time, I was always like a tomboy. I was out riding motorcycles, dirt bikes. Once I got into my teens, I wanted to go, travel around the world. And in my 20s, I was skydiving. So I was always doing like, extreme sports combined with this constant love of baking. So I got this punk rock Betty Crocker kind of moniker, which sort of morphed into Betty Rocker. And I didn't turn the name into a business name until I was in my early 30s, when I actually had a bit of a health scare. I had really just completely burned out my adrenals. Have you ever? A lot of people say that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yes, it is. It is a thing. Everyone listening knows this is a thing.
Yeah. Your audience would.
I mean, my audience knows. I've done it multiple times because I wanted to make sure I really knew how to heal them.
Yeah.
So I would heal them and burn them out and heal them and burn them out. But yes, this audience totally gets that.
Yeah. So. And I remember like people would say to me, well, that's a mythical thing. But I was smart and I went to a naturopath at the time, which was sort of alternative in my world. But I felt that was the right thing to do. And got blood work done, discovered that I had the adrenal fatigue, and started to heal myself with whole foods. And of course, my history, I went to Tufts and I was studying nutrition, but I really didn't agree with a lot of the nutrition dogma that was sort of that old school stuff that they tell you. And I had been just really fascinated by nutrition in indigenous cultures and had in my 20s traveled around the world and really just immersed myself in seeing what people ate in different parts of the world and sort of learning a lot of ancient traditions. If you guys are familiar with Sally Fallon, Nourishing Traditions book, that's a great resource as far as
you must have that book. Everybody should have that book.
Yes, because she talks a lot about proper grain preparation, and she talks a lot about the intelligence of the way that early American pioneers prepared their grains. You want to soak, sprout, or ferment things. So if you're going to eat grains, that's how you need to do it. It's a great education about food in general. So those are the kind of arenas that I was really delving into. And when I was about to heal my body nutritionally, I really got deeper into that research on my own and started trial and error. And, I amused myself by starting a blog, writing about my recipes that I would try. And I also, at the time was a structural integrationist, which is a lot like a rolfer, if some of you guys know what that is. And I was working, you remember I had the motorcycle connection. So at the time I was traveling around the country, going to racetracks, working with extreme sports athletes and motorcycle racers and realigning their bodies. I was walking on people, giving them prescriptive exercises. And a lot of them were asking me like, well, how do you eat? And I was like, oh, I've got this blog. You should check it out. I'm actually writing my recipes. And about a year into writing the recipes and sort of like my take on how to eat, Whole Foods Market got in touch with me and said, hey, one of our store employees lost 50 pounds in the past year. And when we asked her what she attributed her great success to, she said Betty Rocker. I read her blog. I talk to her when she comes in the store. And I can't tell you, I've learned so much. She has all this food in her cart and she's so tiny and I'm skipping meals all the time, not eating. And here I am, 50, 60 pounds to lose. And she's like, I just started listening to her and doing what she said and trying her recipes. And here I am. And it was amazing. And I started teaching cooking classes. And that's what gave me the confidence to write my very first book. And I kind of officially became Betty Rocker.
Betty Rocker is such a great fit for you. I must say that I had total brand envy because I was like, oh, this is so good. So now here you are, you're cooking, you're blogging, this is turning into this thing, right? Before we get into the whole fitness side of it, let's talk about your food philosophy. Like, what do you eat? What does Betty Rocker eat? Now, I've been to your house. I've had, what was that chili you made last time I was over? That was so amazing.
I'm so glad you liked that. I was hoping you would. It was.
I still remember it. See, it left a mark.
Awesome. I always, when you have JJ Virgin over, you want to make her something special, and I wanted to make something special. So it was a turkey pumpkin spice chili. So really simple recipe. I used just turkey. I love snap peas. I love the added crunch that they give. So I really like simple dishes that are easy to make, that are like comfort food, but without the added sugars, without all the crap.
Comfort food without the comfort
the
comfort bad stuff.
Yeah,
but I mean, who would think of putting crunchy snap peas in chili? Like that never would dawn on me.
And then I love the texture of that. And then the pumpkin, and it's just a little bit of like paprika and a little bit of pumpkin pie spice, and it just balances out together. I'd made it like 3 times and gotten the spices wrong. until I finally got it right. And then I love making stuff. I love creating and crafting.
I'm trying to remember, you had some desserty thing when I was like, what was that? I remember Tim and I are like losing, and Lisa was there. We were all losing our mind over this.
But it's actually on the blog. It's a very simple nut crust where you take walnuts, pecans, put them in a food processor with you could use, JJ, what's an approved like binding syrup? Because I used a tablespoon of maple syrup, which I know is a no-no. But for me,
well, it really depends on how much you're using and where you are in your, like, if you're in cycle 2 of sugar impact diet, that would be a no. But if you're in normal times, it kind of balances out with everything that you're eating. And just for everybody listening who's going, okay, I want these things, we will make sure in the show notes that we put all this yummy stuff. So we'll have all the show notes at jjvirgin.com/Betty Rocker. We will not leave you hungry.
That's
I
right.
promise.
Yes, we'll give it to you. And anyway,
Yes.
Well, I love your philosophy about sugar, and I think it's so smart. And I love that there are phases that people go through, because, I'm at the stage now where if I choose to have dessert or I choose to have something that has a little added sugar, I know that it's going to balance out with the rest of my day, and I'm not worried about it. But when you're eliminating it and getting it out of your diet, it's so important to stick to that. So this is a recipe that it's 1 tablespoon for the entire 8 servings. So you're pretty good there, and it just blends beautifully. And then you just pack it into a tart pan and fill it with this crust where it was just like dark chocolate, so no sugar added there, and coconut cream, which is this culinary coconut cream by the So Delicious brand, and just blend them together with a little vanilla on the stovetop, poured into the pastry shells, and boom, you've got these insanely delicious. It's like a dark chocolate torte, and there's no baking other than the crust. The torte just sets. You can put it in the fridge. But that's what we had, and it was so good. And you put some fresh berries.
And it's like burned into my memory. So yummy.
It's so funny because I hear people are always afraid to feed you because they're like, oh, and they say the same thing about me, to be honest with you. And so I was so happy when I met you because I'm like, ooh, challenge accepted. I know exactly what I'm going to make for her, something she's never had before, and I hope she likes it. And we have other friends too who are like this too. Diana Kulian, we both adore her recipes. She has amazing.
Gosh, I love it when she comes over to cook. It is like one of my happiest times when Diana.
But I really think
we should all come over. You should come over with Diana.
Both of us.
Right? Oh, all 2 of us, all 3 of us.
But I'm saying, like, this is the way. I think if you look at Diana, you look at you look at me, we're all very different women and different ages and different stages of our life, but we're all kind of united by the way that we've sort of the same in how we cook and how we approach fitness. And I think that's amazing.
Exactly. We are completely. And what's super cool is you would come to eat at any of our houses and go, that was like the most amazing meal I ever ate. And not once would you go, I'm deprived. Never. Like ever. And you'd go, this is like incredible, right?
After you would leave, you would go home and you would feel satisfied and nourished and full, satisfied and nourished and not sick. That's right. You wouldn't have gas. You wouldn't have bloating. You wouldn't be like, have a headache or your energy would drop later, or you wouldn't sleep poorly. All of those things are like such symptoms of, eating too much sugar.
I'm glad you brought that up. Those are not normal.
No.
Those are not normal. Like if you're having those things, not normal.
No.
You should never have those things.
Yeah.
So really important. Now you've got the killer Instagram, which again, we'll put in the show notes.
Yes.
And what I love about it, there's a lot of things I love about it, but one of the things I really, really love about it, because I love mindset stuff, is that you do so many things around self-worth and mindset.
Yep. I think it's the foundation to all of it. And I'll share, from a personal story is that for years, you guys, I was so hard on myself, negative self-talk, constantly running myself down. I just never felt like I measured up. I felt like I wasn't pretty enough, or I wasn't smart enough, or I just wasn't good enough. It was just constantly feeling like I wasn't worthy of something.
And just for everybody listening, this is first of all, one of the nicest human beings I've ever met, ridiculously talented, totally brilliant, drop dead gorgeous. Like I can't say, I can't think of anything that I could say negative about you. Like you are just this shining star, and for you to not feel good enough, it's like, what?
Well, I feel like I'm just as perfectly imperfect as any other woman listening. I have my good days and bad days, and we all do. I get stressed out. Sometimes But the difference is now in how I used to be is that I have tools that I work with in myself that I'm always looking for the good in situations. I see my gratitudes every day when I'm getting stressed out in a moment, because I still get stressed out like anyone does, or emotional. I look for a way to bring myself back to the thread of positivity to keep me on track with my focus of all of the things that I have to be grateful for in my life. And that wasn't natural at first, and it took some doing. And when you read my Instagram, I think you'll find yourself really touched. And a lot of times you'll feel the real power of the words. And why the words have power is because I've said them to myself. How I was able to write those things is I was talking to myself, trying to coach myself through difficult things. And that's why, JJ, you said such amazing things about me, and it just, warms my heart. And also, I am not perfect. I have struggles like we all do. And that's me coaching myself and also sharing that, because like JJ says, a rising tide lifts all boats. And my real mission is to empower you to be a role model to other people in your life. Yes, it's great to rock your body and just look and feel amazing. But why are you doing that? It's really about who you're inspiring by your actions, like fitness, nourishing yourself. These are high value moves, things that make you a worthy person. And nourishing ourselves is a big thing, and how we talk to ourselves, nourishing your soul and your mind, really important.
And, it's so important you bring that up, because otherwise someone will never be thin enough. They'll never be pretty enough. It's so, I love that you flipped that around. So let's move it over to fitness,
Sure.
Because if you look at your Instagram and YouTube, you are like ridiculously fit. And you've got awesome workouts. In fact, that's when I first started to hear about you. Someone's like, "Oh, I'm doing Betty Rocker's workouts." Challenge.
Yeah.
And what I love is that you've made fitness so accessible.
Yes. Oh my
right?
gosh.
I mean, that is the key thing that I love, because I remember when I first started looking at all the fitness stuff coming out on YouTube, I go, you know what? This is like a 20-year-old gal who, someone's going to have a heart attack here. What are they doing?
And now they're using the machines. I was like,
this is going to hurt people,
Different things work for different people at different times. That's true of nutrition. That's true of fitness. But what I think is what works for you is what you can do sustainably. And that's really important, that you can be consistent with a workout, that you can move consistently. And for a lot of people, I'm 41. I work a lot, like a lot of people do. I don't always have time. I don't go to the gym. And so what I create a lot of are really in similar philosophy to what JJ teaches, are high intensity, short duration workouts. And I combine them with resistance training using gravity and your own body weight. And that's basically how I write my programs. And I have these incredible challenges. There's a free challenge, of course, that anyone can do.
Yes, we will put this in the show notes. So again, jjvirgin.com/Betty Rocker. You've had like 1 million people go through your challenges, right?
Almost 2 million at this point in the last 2 years.
That is crazy. That's just crazy.
That's crazy awesome. And when I think about, it's not just, I actually almost cry every time I think about, because it's the stories I get about the kids doing that, they're able to do the workouts at home with their parents, that the kids are watching their parents do the workouts, that people's parents are noticing and wanting to do them. I got an Instagram message from a girl yesterday who said, my mom lost 20 pounds in the last, 2 months since she started using your workouts, and she did your 30-day challenge. And now she's working out regularly, and we just got one of your programs. And she's like, because I did it, she wanted to do it. And it's just like that impact. That's just amazing. And people feel good about themselves. They feel like, I can do it now. It doesn't have to take an hour or 45 minutes even. I can do something effective in a short amount of time from anywhere. Bingo.
I love that, because that's the biggest things we want to do. Why don't people work out? They think you have to go to the gym. They think it's going to take a ton of time.
It hurts.
It's time's
hard.
The biggest one. Yeah.
It's boring. Also, it's not fun. And that's a big one right there, because you don't look forward to your workout when it's not fun. And I think when you have a crazy cartoon character trainer like Betty Rocker jumping around on a video with you, being ridiculous and crashing into the couch sometimes and just not being perfect, and but also who is just shows up for you, I think it's fun. It's different. It's every time it's something different. And I think that's what's I think that's what I hear from people the most, is that they just love it because it's real. and they get stronger, and they lose body fat. They get the results, and
you're not like spending hours a day doing this.
No.
It's like you're going to eat food you love.
Yep.
You're going to do exercise you'll look forward to. It's not going to take a bunch of time, and you're going to see results. Like, there you go. Boom.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I mean, I feel like there's so much synergy between what you do and what I do. It's just like one more awesome avenue for people to explore.
I know. That's why I'm excited to be able to have everyone. We're going to put in the challenge, your Make Fat Cry Challenge. First of all, great name. Like, super.
It's
Again,
funny.
brand envy.
Thank you.
So we'll put that in the challenge so everyone can jump in and do that, because
free.
it's fantastic. It's free. You can do it. Don't do it anytime. Do it now.
Do it now. Yes.
Because here's the thing, come on. I've been in the weight loss world for 30 years. When people say they're going to do it anytime, they'll do it tomorrow. It never happens.
I'll do it Monday. I'll do it on the 1st.
So we're going to start this. You're listening to this podcast. Go get into the challenge.
Yes.
Remember, jjvirgin.com/Betty Rocker. Go get into the challenge and start.
Yes.
Start. Because I know that the big differentiator between people who are successful and people who aren't is that they started. There it is. That's the big secret. Just start.
The big secret.
Right?
Yeah. There is not a perfect time to start. Just rock. I always say that I'm flawed and awesome, so I'm flawsome. There is no perfect time to start a challenge. Every time is the flawsome time to start the challenge. Just get after it. Go do it now.
So I want to throw one more little thing at you, one more little curveball, not really. What's one thing that you do every day that you feel makes the biggest difference in your life?
Gratitudes, 100% without hesitation. Saying my gratitudes every morning and helps set the course for my day. I actively write them down every day without fail. And I know it's not like a fitness thing or like a nutrition thing. Those things happen always, but no matter where I am, no matter what I'm doing, every single day I'm grateful. It cultivates one of the highest brain states, your alpha brain waves. It actually, I don't know, it just helps you focus on all the things. So when you are struggling to get all of the right meals in, or you're struggling to get your workout in, you're always focusing on what you're doing right, what you're grateful for, and it helps keep you on course to going to where you need to go.
Gratitude shoves out fear, anger, resentment, just shoves it out of the way.
Yes.
Take that. So, yes.
I bet a lot of your guests say that, actually. You got some really amazing people that you know.
I do. Yeah, gratitude's one of the constant themes. Meditation's another one, but I'd say those two are the two that go neck and neck.
Yeah, those are great. I mean, I have so many that I try to work in every day, but that's the one without fail that always is the foundation.
I agree. Me too.
Yay.
3 things you can think of to be grateful for. So simple. And totally profound and free. I always love that, So,
it's free. Yes.
It's free.
Yeah.
So there's no reason you can't. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much, Bree, for being here. So awesome.
Such a pleasure to talk to you and your awesome listeners.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Now, after the break, I'll be answering a listener's question. So stay with me.
Want a better quality of sleep while also calming your brain? Now there's a great tasting way to do it. JJ Virgin's lemon-flavored sleep candy contains amino acids and nutrients to help you naturally fall asleep with ease. This gluten-free, non-GMO, dairy-free sleep assistant also helps you stay asleep so you feel rejuvenated and more relaxed. So, if you want to get a better night's sleep, visit www.jjvirgin.com/products and try JJ's Sleep Candy.
Welcome back. This is the time where I answer our listener's question. Today's question comes from Cassie in Roanoke. And hopefully I got that right, Cassie. And Cassie writes, all right, I got the diet dialed in, JJ, and I'm ready to start the exercise. Where do I begin? So happy you asked that question. So here's where I start with exercise. Now, I always tell people that for things to count as exercise, you should get hot, sweaty, it should hurt a bit. And just a little bit. And where I like people to start is ideally in life, you want to move more. I love the trackers, Fitbits, and pedometers, because you really should be moving an hour plus throughout the day. And the cool news with that is everything counts. You take the stairs, it counts. You park farther away, it counts. You walk the dog, which is, big reason to get a dog. it counts. These all matter, but these don't count as exercise. So the first thing I like to see is, hey, make sure you're moving more. Then I'd start with high intensity interval training. And this is something that's super simple to fit into your day a couple times a week. It doesn't take much time. And it literally is when you go all out for 30 to 60 seconds, you actively recover for twice as long. And you do that to accumulate 4 to 8 total minutes of bursting. And it can be throughout the day. You don't have to do it in succession. And so this could look like jumping jacks. It could look like Turkish get-ups. It could look like running up the stairs. It could look like dancing with wild abandon. It could look like being on a Stairmaster or a bike. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be something that's moving your full body through space for 30 to 60 seconds. And you should be out of breath and feel like you can't go on. That's the key thing. Like how you used to feel in the schoolyard if a kid was chasing you. And remember that? That was a long time ago, probably. But remember that feeling where you're like out of breath and your thighs were burning? That's the feeling. So that's the place I like to start, is getting those bursts in, because they raise growth hormone, they boost your metabolic rate, and they're going to help with burning off belly fat. They're going to help with better focus. They're going to help with better immune system, everything, better mood. So you start there and then start adding in the resistance training. So that's the other part. And resistance training are exercises like push-ups and pull-ups and squats that involve your upper body. And I divide that into upper body pushing, which is chest, triceps, and shoulders. Upper body pulling, which is back and biceps, hips and thighs, and power core, which is your back extensors and your trunk. And you can actually put these all together, and you'll see this with Bree's exercises when she in the challenge, and you'll also see it with some of my exercises in my fast fitness program, that we've put these things all together to give you an exercise routine that you can do in 12 to 15 minutes that will get you the interval training, the high intensity training. And it will give you the resistance training to build your muscles so that they hold everything in stronger, keep your bones strong, and boost your metabolism and help improve insulin sensitivity. So there's the ticket. And the important thing here is to work at your level. So it should be hard for you. And as you get stronger, guess what? It never gets easier. Sorry to break that news to you, because you get stronger and you push harder. All right, if you've got a question, head on over to one of my social accounts, either Facebook at JJ Virgin Official or on Instagram at jj.virgin. We check all those things out. We're always looking for the questions that fit the podcast. So jump on in, leave them. We respond. We've got me and my coaches are in there all the time answering your questions. And I love pulling ones that fit in well onto the podcast. And the other thing that we do every podcast is we pull the review of the week. And the review this week is from Mary Alida. And it's 5 stars, very educational, inspirational. And she says, binge listening after reading The Virgin Diet. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marie. And thank you for all of you who've left the reviews. They help a ton. I know when I'm looking at podcasts going, what should I listen to? I look at those reviews, and people who've got a lot of reviews are the ones I listen to. So if you're listening going, gosh, I really love this podcast, I would so appreciate it if you would pop on over to iTunes and leave a review, because it helps a ton and helps me in my big mission out there to help 1 billion people take personal responsibility for their health and get healthier. That's how we change the world together. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate you. All righty. See you next time.
That's all for this episode of the JJ Virgin Lifestyle Show, which marks another step towards a healthier body and mind. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and we'll talk to you next week.